All right. So we're live, man. So cool.
All right.
This is awesome. So what's up, Alex? We got a special guest today, everyone. Hey, social chatter 153. Christian is globetrotting as usual, traveling to parts unknown. We're really not sure where he is. We hope he didn't get swallowed up by a shark or made it down to be an alligator lover here with us in Tampa. And of course, we'll let him on in just a second, but we got to give him a hard time. In addition, we got Alex Abel with us. Alex, what's shaking, Daddy? How are you?
How you doing? Alex Abel, but it's cool.
Abel. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Abel. Yeah, Abell. And Christian is in the house. Christian, where the hell are you tonight, buddy?
I'm still in Bali, actually.
You're still in Bali? What the hell, man? So we're glad you're here.
Thank you. Very nice to see you, Alex. We had some really good chats beforehand, so it's great to have you on the show this week.
Nice to be here. Thanks you guys for inviting me. I'm honored.
We're glad you're here, man. We're glad you're here. So you're going to carry the show tonight because Christian is sleepy and, I'm kind of tired too. So it's going to be the Alex show. But let me tell everybody a little bit about you, Alex, and then I'm going to let you fill in the gaps. So if you don't know Alex Abel, Alex is freaking brilliant. He's in Tampa near me. We've gone to coffee a couple of times, had some beers together. I even got to teach his wife's class at USF. So that was fun. Alex got a little munchkin. And here's what's valuable for you listening here, folks. Alex is a data storyteller. Few people can take data, make it sexy, tell good stories with it like Alex. And get this, he's a freaking data. He's an actual time traveler. He's a time traveler. So that's pretty cool, and runs an organization marketing group here in Tampa called FermiDocs. So Alex, what did I miss, man? How did I say badly? Hit me up, dude. Tell us even more why you're awesome.
Oh, man. I don't know if I'm count as awesome, but like he said, I'm a time traveler first and foremost. Timetravelers.org is not to plug, but that's a society of time travelers. So I just started a networking group, like you said, FermiDocs. It's based on the Fermi paradox, the search for intelligent life in the marketing sphere. I work at Ashley Furniture, and I'm actually starting a new business on the side doing data analytics, Google Analytics help, stuff like that. So I don't know, just a little bit of everything. I think when I met Phil, I was surprised that he was the only person I've ever met that does more projects than me. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty crazy that way. But man, you got good stuff, and you got a little munchkin. So how's the baby? First of all, that's important.
Oh, she's doing great. She's just started to crawl. I'm proud to report today she's actually crawling forward. For a long time, she was only crawling back. I'd say, come to me, and she would just run away. So she's doing well, and she's 8 months old now. It's crazy how time flies.
That's crazy. Well, cool. Well, Christian, tell us what is going on in Bali, and then let's kick us off with some topics, brother.
Oh, right now I'm just on a little bit of vacation, but I will say, you and I've talked about this a lot, but it's about being able to work pretty much from anywhere, and like we do with the show, like we make it work. For example, we have a normal system we use, we have a backup system we use, we're always in constant communication via Facebook Messenger. So, I'd say for anybody who's looking to run your own business, you could do it. It's very easy. Just, make sure you get the right teammate, and also, just always have, a backup plan, and know that it's technology. It's not always going to work wherever you're at. So,
yeah, that's totally true. So are you on a wireless hotspot today? Are you connected to the local Bali Starbucks, or how are you connected to us tonight, Christian?
I'm actually using my my mobile data, which is really surprising because normally mobile data really struggles with live video, but it's been fantastic. So
cool.
I'm pretty impressed.
That's awesome.
I want to mention how jealous I am right now that you're in Bali and I'm in steaming hot Tampa, Florida.
You're in steaming hot Tampa, Florida. I'm in gorgeous, wonderful Tampa, Florida.
Okay, I guess it's perspective, huh?
You must be in the other part of town, man, because it's fantastic here, bud. So, yeah. But I'm from Wisconsin. You're from South Georgia. So real quick, before we get started here, Alex, how the heck did you get to Tampa from South Georgia other than the I-75?
Oh, well, it's the age-old story of following a girl. My wife, Annika, as you mentioned earlier, Phil taught her class at USF. She teaches digital marketing. And we met I just moved to Tallahassee, Florida, and she was finishing up her MBA where I went to college in Valdosta, Georgia. And we met, we hit it off. We did long distance for a while, but she got accepted to USF, University of South Florida, down here. And at the same time, I got a job in Jacksonville doing conversion rate optimization for Verizon Wireless. So we did the long distance thing for a year. Then I moved from Jacksonville to Tampa. So I've been kind of joking that I'm just zigzagging across the Southeast. Eventually, I'll end up in the Bahamas.
Awesome. Good. Well, when you do, make sure that I can come visit you because I've never been to the Bahamas, Alex.
Oh, hey, you're going to be there. You can help me move into my hut.
There you go. Perfect. Well, cool. So good. Well, we've got lots of great stuff to talk about tonight. Hey, Christian, you want to start with the Instagram story that they're testing the recommended posts in the feed?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Can you bring that up by chance?
Absolutely, I can. Yep. So let's talk about this. So Instagram announced on the 20th, a couple days ago, recommended posts to see content you may like, which is another great way of saying advertised crap in our Instagram feed. So this is going to be interesting, right? I say that because my guess is they're going to recommend things based on people that are advertising also that are relevant. That's the hope anyway. So they're rolling it out. I don't know. Christian, do you have any of these in your feed right now?
I don't have those yet, but I will say, I mean, basically, if you think about it, Instagram is becoming like Facebook. You know, they're adding the whole recommended piece so that, you know, as you like more, you know, Facebook knows the traffic is moving to Instagram. They know that, you know, by doing that, now they're going to start to implement some of those pieces that will get you to, you know, help build out your network on Instagram. So now you have these big audiences on Facebook and on Instagram, but I don't have it yet.
Cool. Alex, what about you, man? Do you have the recommended posts? I'm looking at mine right now as we're talking here. I don't have it yet. Do you?
I'm actually looking at it because I have I have a couple of Instagram accounts, and on the FermiDocs account, we only have like we only follow 3 people. So I'm trying to scroll down and see if I can get to it, but apparently I don't check it enough. So I guess you have to be on Instagram a whole lot to get to the bottom of your feed, huh?
Yeah. Well, the end of Instagram came a couple weeks ago. This is recommended posts, which I'm also not seeing. So I don't know. I guess I'm not Instagram nerdy enough to really get this, but this I think is a great opportunity if businesses use hashtags smartly, if they interact with the right people, and if they post, to your point, a little more regularly. I think this is a good opportunity for businesses to maybe pick up some new followers, maybe find out what else is resonating. If it's, you know, if recommended becomes then, hey, stuff like you, except it's better. Well, that's actually a benefit because I always like to snipe on my competition and see what they're doing. So this is kind of fun. This could be kind of useful. I don't know, Christian, how do you think you might use this?
I will say I like the idea that you're just talking about there about keeping an eye on your competition. You know, there's nothing to say that like you can't follow your competition and then check out what they're doing to see if something you could implement in your business. That's how I would use it if I were a business. I think that overall, you know, again, it's going to help you build out your network as well. So you might, you know, maybe for instance, you don't know somebody or you met somebody before and you forgot to follow them. I think you'll have the opportunity then to identify that account based on a couple of things you engage with. So I'm glad to see that Instagram is doing this. As I mentioned, you know, Facebook knows it's the next thing. So they're already really pushing you to that.
Yeah. Almost how many users are on Instagram now? There's like almost a billion, huh?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I will say, here's the other thing, by the way, you know, I met some people when I was here diving and whatnot. And what was really interesting was I didn't even open my Instagram account. And a couple of days later, I got notifications about these people that I had not yet connected with on Instagram to, you know, hey, these 2 people are on Instagram. So, you know that Facebook and Instagram are listening and watching what you're doing.
Everything. They're always listening.
That's right.
My question, right. So this feature actually goes to so you have to reach the end of the latest post, so the historical feed, to get to the feature. Is that correct? That's what I thought I read on the article.
No, so two pieces here. I don't know why they used the "you're all caught up" because that's the old stuff that they have. The new stuff is over on the right, Alex, where it says recommended for you. So here's someone that you're not following, that you probably haven't interacted with, but it's maybe like content that you like. So if we look here, let me see if I can annotate this to show you. This is the one we're talking about here, right? This is the recommended for you. You see, this is someone you're not following.
Yeah.
As opposed to this person over here, which is that you're all caught up. And that like I said, I don't know why they would put those two screenshots together. That literally makes no sense for me at all.
No, I think that's what it's saying in the article. It's saying you'll see recommended posts at the end of your feed. So they have the recommended for you that you have to kind of scroll over to or tab over to. But now they're actually trying to build it in feed. So I could see some people, really getting engaged more with brands that they aren't recommended by.
Yeah.
And, me being a data nerd, I think that anytime that they're using the algorithm to make personalized recommendations, it's usually at first there's room for improvement, but eventually I think that you get more targeted content, so it'll be a better user experience for the visitor and a good opportunity to get in front of some new people for advertisers.
Yeah, totally agree. I think that's a good plan. Any last words on this, Christian, before we move on to the next one?
Only last thing I would say is that Facebook, Instagram has to be very careful with how they are designing their mobile app because they're starting to add more features, and you're going to end up with feature creep. You're going to also possibly end up with Snapchat, which could end up at that point they really alienate a lot of their users. So I think Instagram has to be very careful with what they're adding here. I think it's a good feature. It's just one you have to be very you really have to do a lot of testing, I think, on these features before rolling them out.
Yeah, I think testing and then constantly surveying your users to make sure that you're not overstepping your boundaries.
Yeah. And hey, when is Instagram going to roll out a desktop app that will be a full featured app? Because you can only put so much into mobile before it becomes too much.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good question. I totally agree, especially as you want better ad management. It's not even so much for just trolling your feed. It's really for those who want to manage ads, those who want to manage notifications, maybe pop those into a customer support channel. I mean, we're starting to see more of that. So I'm curious, which customer support platform actually takes this and then puts that inside of their CRM, right?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Cool. So
what are we going to next?
Well, I think the Ad Archive API on Facebook is probably the next best thing that we can talk about today. If we look at this popped out yesterday, making advertising more transparent to help prevent abuse, especially during elections. So this is interesting. Learning what's most useful, got ad creative starting to end date. Now, this is fascinating because this says researchers and journalists, a small group of publishers. Remember, Christian, we talked about this a couple weeks ago where we thought they might offer this for all of us nerds. But now there's a form to submit that says, we'll respond after the initial test. Interesting. So Alex, our resident data nerd for tonight, are you going to use this? Is this something you're already applied to? What's going on?
Yeah, so this was really interesting because I'd heard about, there was the whole media uproar about how they were exposing the ads from pages. So, the minute that happened, a lot of my social media contacts, even in my company, were like, oh man, I've got to go check out what my competitors are doing right away. But who has the time to do that? So with this, you can actually do that programmatically. And you can tie into the API and other nerd words, but you can bring in big data, so to speak, and you can actually survey your competitors, look for trends. I think for nerds like me and for big companies with data science teams and journalists, of course, are always looking for hot leads and trends. It's going to be huge. I'm excited.
Cool. What about you, Christian? Are you gonna apply for this?
I don't think I'm going to apply for it yet. I want to, I think I need to play around with the ability to look at other pages and see what kind of ads they're running. I think that's going to be the first thing, and then figure out, if this is something I need. The one thing I'm most interested in with the whole API access to this is, if you look at Twitter, you look at Facebook, they're all, and even Instagram, they're very, very getting very, very, very strict with how their APIs can be used. And I'm wondering if Facebook's going to be very, very, very very stringent on letting people have access to this. For example, you have a lot of people that have brands. They have agencies that manage their ads, for instance. I'm wondering how that's going to play into all of this because, if I get, an ad company that doesn't maybe do things the right way or kosher way that Facebook likes, is that going to penalize my page? And will we start to see, this is hitting Twitter a lot, which is the API access. They've started limiting third-party tools from being able to use their API. As a result, a lot of those tools are actually shutting down because of the restrictions and the high cost. I'm wondering if Facebook's going to have, maybe in addition to this API, maybe they'll roll out another program that will be some sort of paid, maybe a paid opportunity for them to, generate some revenue because they generate a lot of money from mobile ads. And so, it makes me think that, hey, everybody's using ads. Facebook obviously needs to keep that revenue high because they don't have any other source necessarily. Will they have something else after this? So,
really good thought there. Really interesting. We'll see what happens with this. I think more data, more transparency, potentially a very good thing. Also potentially a big waste of time and a big boondock for everyone. So we'll see what happens here. But the good news is they've got an API. They're opening it up. They're probably going to make a lot of money from this. So this is good stuff. Looks like we've got Morgan Harrell on tonight. Annika's on. So that's nice. Alex, you brought all the viewers tonight, all the ladies. So Helen's with us. So
I don't know how much I paid them to come along. So
no, but I know I get half. So no, but we appreciate you, friends, for being here with us tonight. Hey, just so you know, we're on Zoom. So we're if we look a little bit down, it's because we want to involve you in the conversation here. We're trying to respond to comments mobily tonight. So apologies for not being our normal awesome eye contact. It's simply because we want to participate with you in this. So thank you very much for being here. We're just glad you're here, and we're doing the best we can to make this a great show for you. So Christian, you think we should go now to creating ads from your mobile device with the new creative tools in the ads manager?
I think we should. Yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, that's a pretty big update. As I mentioned earlier, Facebook is getting a lot of the revenue from mobile. They know their users are on mobile. So now they want you to be able to create your ads even better and even more from your mobile device. They're rolling out a host of new tools. Do you know the names offhand of those, the additions they're adding, Bill?
Yeah, so as we look, so first of all, there's an app for it, the Ads Manager app. This is not available just through Pages or through Facebook. Yeah. There's a couple things here. So one is the text overlay and text policy checkers. So that was one of the most annoying things before. 20% rule, right? You can only have so much text. Well, where is that dang text? I didn't even type on it, but somehow it views my asparagus as text. So that was a problem. Second one is the image cropper, which is great, right? We want this to look right. I want to be able to do that inside of a single tool. I like that. And then templates. Hopefully, it's not just every freaking template under the sun, but I'd like to see this in order of conversion. Like, here's a template that converts. Help me make a better ad. I'm going to spend more money if you help me actually convert. And then shape, stickers, and logos, which is interesting. It's a good way to add some text, maybe add a flag to the side of your stuff, or add your logo so you can watermark this so you don't have your competition ripping your stuff off. And then lastly, color filters. So everything in your world can be orange, like in my world. So those are the new features. Which one, Alex, as we look at these, which one, I'm going to just leave this on screen here and you can talk to this. Which one do you think you're going to enjoy the most here out of these, being a data nerd like you are?
Yeah, so I think that I think the ability to add the animations overall. So I think, having templates available is very important. I was actually talking to some members of our social media team at the corporate office, and they were saying, they're like, I hope that people don't find out about all these new tools that Facebook's rolling out with, because really, we're not going to be able, we're not going to have a job because they're not going to need us to make creative for long. And, it's the scary truth. I don't want to go into my diatribe about, universal basic income and automation and all that stuff, but it's this is a cool feature, but it's a scary step in a particular direction. even if you scroll down a little bit, I don't know if you can, but there's the example ads that they put. I was like, that's better quality than anything I've ever put out, making it, considering myself a professional. So
Mhm.
I plan to use all of these features, but I'm going to use them. And as I, get conversions and get the results, I'm going to be like, man, this is a game changer. The industry and technology is just changing the world.
Totally agree. I think while it's nice, I mean, you still have to be creative enough to understand what the value of these tools are. I mean, it's one thing to know, it's another thing to do and execute. And I think what this is doing is leveling the playing field so that you don't need to spend $1,400 a year on the Adobe Creative Suite. You can just use the Facebook Ad Manager because, again, I'm hearing from a lot of my folks that I work with that, hey, the reason we don't use it is because it's too hard to make graphics. I'd love to spend more money, but I can't. So I think that's interesting. I don't know. Christian, what are you thinking, buddy?
I think, okay, so out of the features that are here, I think the logo piece is going to, again, this is a guess here. I think that, when you log into the mobile app to run ads manager here and to be able to create these templates, it's probably going to tie back to your Facebook page and pull your logo that you can actually upload already now in, in a couple different variations. So I have a feeling it's going to pull directly from that. So I would say, hey, that's a really useful feature, but I know it's probably already going to be, pulling back from something that's already there. So I think the templates feature is going to be very useful, but I really, as you said, I really agree that they need to show them by conversion rate. I would love to see, for example, if I ran an ad with, in this case, let's say I want to make it green text and, an orange background, for instance, and I want to do black text and a white background or something like that. I will also want to be able to see that data from my ads to show me which colors are actually working well, or which template, for instance. Because I think, and as you mentioned, I mean, this is leveling the playing field. You don't have to, you can create some very professional ads. That to me, I think the biggest concern, you still have to be creative with running ads. You can't just, take a template and run some ads and, hey, expect to get some, to generate a lot of revenue off of it. You have to be creative with your ad, and that comes down to still the copy, and you can't replace automated copy yet. So I think this is a good first step to being able to, get my ads to look great. Then I have to work on my copy. So that's where I'm at with this.
Absolutely. Morgan Harrell makes a great point. The company still has to make time to actually create the darn ad. So there's still value in hiring this out. Alex, of course, is being a tinfoil hat wearer. He's got AI. So Alex, why don't you share that comment with all of us here? Because we think it's good. I'm going to stop sharing and put the spotlight on you, man. What you got?
So I was just saying, with AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, they're buzzwords right now. And you do hear a lot of people saying, oh, well, it's going to change everything. And they're going to automate, first they automate the redundant, really easy to program jobs. And then they get more into the stuff that has the access to other APIs. I think creative work is going to be like the last step. Like it's very tough. Almost impossible, I would say, in a lot of people's opinions, to automate the creative process. But you'd be really surprised at what you can do with some really smart MIT type people. It's going to be, I think, 50, 100 years in the future, but you can automate anything. I don't know. I'm like you said, tinfoil hat, but we're going to see some changes in the next few years, I believe.
No, absolutely, bud. I think that's a great point. And my other thought on this is I'd love to see them come up with a better Instagram ad manager too. Hopefully that's the next step, because there's different things you can do on Instagram, like you Messenger. Well, there's no Messenger on Instagram. So I want to see those different ones available on these apps as well. Because again, if we're going to make Facebookstagram together, like it is, right? I want to see the same tool. So, or at least a similarly useful tool. I'm going to guess that people spend more money on Facebook ads. So therefore that's where the call to action is. That's probably also a more robust API. So for those of you out there, that just means Instagram's coming soon. It's not here yet. That's basically it. And it's good that Alex is drinking tonight. So feel free. This is the Whiskey Cam. And,
I was a bit nervous about going live. So you guys.
Yeah, that's his third bottle. And we've only been talking for about 11 minutes. It's really interesting. So we're
So what
glad.
kind of camera setup do you have there, Alex? You have multiple cameras or
Oh, it's very
high tech?
rudimentary and bootstrap. So I just have my laptop, little camera built in, and then I have a wired camera over to the side, just hanging out. I mean, I can show you. Here we go. This is my setup here. That's my other camera.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Awesome. The whiskey cam.
The whiskey
That's fun.
cam. Yeah.
That's it. So all cool things that we can play with. Really, really good stuff. So thanks for showing that off, Alex. Let's move on to the next tool, next thing that's happening. And this is turning still image ads into video ads. What the heck? I mean, really? You can turn a still image ad into a video ad? This is pretty amazing. So I'm gonna let this run here in the background. I'm gonna show you again. Remember, right click and mute the site so that you don't have to listen to that in the background. We showed that trick last night. Hey Delia, we're glad that you're here. Hey again, Morgan, you're doing some great job there keeping Alex awake, so we appreciate that. Facebook's also where the ad space pricing will go up first. Absolutely. So now let's take a look at this and just see how this might turn into a video. This is really interesting, right? Basic motion, animate your still image by adding 1 or 2 elements of motion and include a call to action. That's the important thing, Alex. You're a conversion nerd too, so that's helpful. Brand in motion, right? Bring your logo to life. Benefit in motion, pretty cool. And then demonstration in motion. So positive outcome for 69% of the brands. Holy crap, right? I mean, this certainly, for those that are really smart and creative and that take the time to play with this, my goodness, this could be great. I mean, if my business got 69% more amazing, I'd probably be on Bali like Christian too. So what do you think, Alex? You going to use this stuff?
Yeah, I guess this takes it even a step further. So like, look at the quality of the creative that you can create with these tools. Facebook is, they struggled a little. I don't know what the year was, maybe like 2000, 2003. They were struggling to kind of get their footing for how do I serve advertisers. They kind of had the ads on the sidebar out of the way. Advertisers didn't really see the value. Now they're on top of everything. So like, this is a money-making machine, I feel like, because like you said earlier, people don't have the skills or the time to learn Adobe Creative Suite. You don't have to anymore, because you can actually just turn still images into, something that you would probably pay an agency, a couple $1,000s to create. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Wow. Christian, you ready to play with this for some Social Chefs ads or what?
I am. And I think that, here's the thing, as Alex mentioned, I mean, you still do need people to do your graphic design. So, that's not going to cut out the graphic designer. Where I think this is valuable is if you have your logo and, for example, like, say you threw your logo together, you didn't have a designer do it the right way. That's where you may have to go back to the designer and have it fixed so that it can work with these tools. But I'm very impressed with just Facebook, with Instagram, with Snapchat, all the stuff they're doing to really make it easier for you as a business or as a marketer to be able to create some really amazing content, to go from really boring content to, because here's the thing, not everybody's a creative person. Mm-hmm. So, if Facebook can take all the guesswork out, I think that's going to be really great for them. It's going to be great for them, but it's going to be a big win for you as a user, because again, it's also, if they want you to use the platform, they have to make it easier for you because, you guys are talking about like Adobe Photoshop. Like Adobe Photoshop is not an easy product to use. You can open it up and, there's an array of tools. Most of the time people have to go take a course or buy a book on this. And, for a lot of people, that's a challenge. That's a really daunting challenge to have to overcome just to create one graphic. So I'm really glad that Facebook's doing this. They're making these tools a lot easier and more accessible. So another big win for Facebook this weekend. And I realize we talk a lot about Facebook, but hey, who else is doing anything really great like this?
They're all the rage right now. And one thing I just want to add to that, when I looked at this tool, it kind of reminded me of Canva. And I had the same feeling that I had when I first discovered Canva. Yeah. It's, I've been using Photoshop since I was 15. I'm a huge nerd. I know it like the back of my hand. But I watch other people open up Photoshop and just get this blank look on their faces, like, what? There are all these buttons. What am I supposed to do now? And then Canva comes out and it's like, just push 3 buttons and then bam, you got a beautiful image that you can share on social right away. I think that's what it looks like. That's kind of the model that Facebook's taken on, and they're really figuring out how to monetize that, which is it's smart.
Yeah, and I'm gonna guess they probably partner with some stock image places as well to give you even more stuff to steal some of Canva's thunder. To your point, the auto resize plays a little bit against my buddy Craig's Relay That as well. That was one of the really big benefits of Relay That. We'll see what happens here, but yeah, this is potentially pretty freaking awesome. So very, very exciting. Very exciting for folks, and much, much simpler, which we all love. Oh, yeah. So that's pretty good. So wow, that was pretty quick, guys. We got a lot of stuff in tonight. So I think those were our topics here. I just need to look at my notes here because my computer doesn't always like me here. So we've got create ads from your mobile. We got that, the ad archive, Instagram. Holy crap, that's four topics in just 34 minutes. So folks, if you're listening and you're thinking, holy crap, I want to make sure I don't ever miss this, go to socialchefs.com/daily and you can pick up the newsletter. So you'll get all this stuff. We scour the world for great tools, for great stuff that's happening this week right now that you can use in your business. So sign up socialchefs.com/daily and don't miss that. The next recap is going to come out really soon. We've turned this into a video on YouTube and make sure that you have this. So, wow, it's tool time, Christian. Can you believe it? Tool time, woohoo. Tool time. Yeah, so we got two cool tools tonight. And good news is because we're using Zoom, I can actually live demo the second tool on my machine. So that's pretty fun. So let's go to the first one, though. That first one is AutoKlose, the future of sales automation. Now, I got to actually talk to the founder of this. His name's Sean, a couple weeks ago, and I'll be doing a webinar with him in September. Really great tool. This thing allows you to generate targeted leads because if you pay for the database behind it, and it's a little bit pricey, but if you're a B2B seller or B2B sales team, this is good stuff. You can pay for that, schedule a personalized campaign. You can engage with your prospects and fill your calendar up. Sean showed me his calendar. Wow. Filled this puppy up with automation. Again, Alex, this is the AI that you're talking about, man. Really getting smarter, really getting more accurate and really good stuff. So have you seen a tool like AutoKlose before?
I mean, I've seen, there's your go-to tools in the toolbox that you always hear about, like HubSpot. There's tools like Marketo. But I was looking at the website for AutoKlose earlier, and it's for one thing, I got to give kudos to their design team because they're spot on looking design. It makes me want to buy the tool. But as far as when I was reading, again, being a nerd for automation and technology, anything that I can automate, especially in the inbound or lead generation process, I'm all over it. So I'm interested to see how the tool pans out as far as their capabilities with machine learning and AI, because there's a lot of companies that are bragging about their machine learning capabilities, but it's sometimes very exaggerated. So just being someone that has a startup right now that we're going to have to start doing some lead generation for, we've been vetting Marketo, or not Marketo, I'm sorry. The whiskey's getting to me. HubSpot, yeah. And I was looking at the pricing, and it's kind of high as well. So I don't know I haven't looked at the pricing into this, but if it does what it says it does, then it's probably worth it.
Cool. Christian, what about you, man? Are you looking at a tool like this?
I think here's the thing. I want to put this on the perspective of other businesses. Yeah. So, if you're watching and you have a business, for instance, I think Morgan has a business, this is a great tool if you're not using any sort of prospecting tools. I think this is a great tool to be able to, keep track of your customers or your potential customers and drive them further down that funnel. Phil and I are working on something really big, and, we talk about strategy, and knowing who your customer is like the first and foremost step that you need to start, looking at as a business. So, this is a tool to help you keep track of that and, and close more sales, but you have to know who that customer is to begin with. And don't just say like, oh, hey, I'll remember it, because you have too many other things you're trying to remember and keep track of. So I think this is a great tool for that. And also, if these tools offer free trials, for instance, spend some time trying out a tool, see how it works, see if it's really clunky or hard for you to use or understand how it works, and then test out the tools and then go back to the one you like. It's not necessarily a popularity game. Popularity, from the tools perspective, doesn't always mean it's the best tool. So
yeah. Absolutely. Well, if you're looking for a 14-day trial, you can contact me. I know the founder. I know some of the tech team. If you want to check this out, it's a great tool. Both of you guys as well. If you want to get access to this, it's 14 days. But I would say with any of these tools, we give this disclaimer every single week. If you don't know what the heck you're trying to do, if you don't have a strategy, don't waste your time or money on tools, because a tool like this is awesome if you know what you're doing, if you've got your scripts written out, if you know what you're going to talk about, right? If you know who your customer is, if you know what your product is, if you know what the benefits are, if you know what the pain points are, right? So this is not some silver bullet. It just makes things easier if you already know those answers. So take a look. So yeah, and Morgan says she's thinking about this, Christian, looking at systems for our team. Morgan, if you want to play with this, I can connect you with Sean at AutoKlose and get you a trial. Just send me a private message. Happy to make that introduction. Anybody on that's listening, either now or in the future, Phil Gerbishak, that's me. You hear my voice. I'm happy to help you with that. Just let me know on that. So, but this is a bigger business tool. It's $47 a month. If you dial in with the database, it's a lot more. So if you don't have a big ticket item, it's probably not worth your time or money to use the database, but just the tool itself is killer. Great tool.
Okay? I'll have to follow up with you, Phil, because I want to know, like HubSpot, they have their socialized data collection model.
Yeah.
I wonder what's the source of their database. I'd like to dig into that a little bit and maybe in the future.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to ask him for that Phil discount.
There you go. Well, it's the 14-day trial. So friends of Phil, you can get that. So they'll take care of you, Alex. So, but yeah, I'll introduce you to Sean, maybe talk to him next week. Okay.
Cool.
So awesome. So cool. So the last tool actually is one called Square Fit. And the cool thing is I can share that with my iPhone, so you can actually see what the heck this is. So just give us a second here. But I know that if you're using Instagram, one of the biggest pains in the butt that I've got is I shoot a nice video and then it's got to fit to Instagram and I look like a total doofus. Maybe that's just me, but maybe it's the fact that I haven't found a tool like this. So check this out. Square Fit is the tool. So I'm going to open this up here. I'm going to open up a video. Check this out. So let's see if it'll let me go. So we record video, right? So that's kind of meta. Haha, just kidding. I'm not really going to do that. I'm going to pull up a video here. You can see there's lots of options. I'll go through this thing. Instagram captions. That's who that is. So let's pull this up here. Let's pull up our new. Let's pull that up, and there we go. Let's go back. There's a video that I shot the other day on LinkedIn. We can choose that video. It compresses it for us. It does all the cool stuff for us. It lets us trim it. So all of this, right? If I want to scrub it, I can go ahead. I can trim here. I can hit next, right? I can make sure that it fits. I can stretch it out. I can add some canvas here for a different option, 4:3 for Facebook, right? All these different options built in for me, making it super duper simple to check this out. So I really like this tool. I use the free version of it. I certainly will be paying for it. I'm not right now, but you can create new stickers off of different stuff, right? So that's kind of fun, right? We can cut it into a shape. So there we go. And now we save it. And now we can add a sticker, right, to our thing here. And there we go, right? So that's kind of nice. So that's like, shut up, Phil, right? So there you go. So there's our video. That's it. So pretty simple tool, works pretty well, can get the free version or use it. So Alex, have you played with this?
No, I haven't had a chance yet, but you told me about it the other day, and If I wasn't so busy at work, I would have already downloaded it, because that's another really cool tool. It seems like there's a overarching theme to a lot of the tools and a lot of the releases from Facebook and some of the other networks, and it's ease of use. It's giving people engaging content, but not making it difficult for the creators to put it out there. So I think that I'm really looking forward to at least the free trial. I don't know if I probably will pay for it if my wife will let me, but she always gets on to me when I spend money on apps. So.
Well, there you go. So we'll just have to get you a $2.99 iTunes gift card. So
There we go.
Be done. So Christian, what about you, buddy?
Here's the thing. As a video editor myself, I use a lot of tools. I use Final Cut Pro. I use, Compressor, for instance, for resizing my videos and whatnot for different networks. So I think but the thing is, you have to do all that on a laptop. So by having this on a mobile device, again, most of the content is being created on a mobile device. This makes it easier for you to quickly do all this on the fly, instead of saying, well, hey, I've got to wait till I get back to my desk or my office, or to my laptop to get that done. So I think, as Alex mentioned, it's about ease of use. Again, a lot of these tools are also one-off tools. So for example, this one, its strong suit is helping you keep your videos at certain sizes, or resizing them properly. But hey, that's all it does. And so just keep that in mind. It's like round tripping, basically. You start here, you do this, you do another feature, you do something else in another app, and then you're back at your final, your final app where you can upload it. So don't be afraid to mix and match apps. That's my feedback.
Great suggestion. Great suggestion. I think tools like this have great places. Of course, they're building this stuff to either get Facebook's attention so they get bought because they've got brilliant developers and creative, or they're building it so that they can make some money on the app. Of course, the goal is to do both. So that's kind of interesting. We'll see, but I can tell you, for a single-use point app, there aren't many simpler than the SquareFit app. Really, really simple. Check it out. We're going to put all of the links and all the stuff in the show notes. We'll have that for you. Christian is usually our writer, so he might not get to this week, so you might be stuck with me writing, folks. So we'll see, but we're glad you're here. So Alex, dude, you're so smart. You took us out in 46 minutes. That's like record time, dude. So
wow.
Right?
Efficiency. It's the name of the game. Automation, efficiency, whiskey. We covered a lot of bases tonight.
Yeah, we did, man. So Alex, tell us where people can find more of your awesome, where they can get connected with you, and more they can learn to be a little more data nerdy.
Sure. So also, I need to get with you after the show, because I don't know what tool you used for your transcripts on your Instagram videos, but I need to get that.
Clips. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Yep, on the show. Apple Clips. It's a free tool if you're an Apple person. If you use the inferior operating system, unfortunately, you're out of luck.
Ouch.
So just saying. I mean, there's either Apple or there's Loserville. So whatever you got, you got to find something else. So Apple Clips.
All right. So let me plug my where you can find me online here, I guess, on my inferior Windows computer. So the new project is datashapers.io. Your nerdy new best friends. I might need to rethink that tagline, because Phil just let me know that he's got a buddy that has a website called Your Nerdy Best Friend. So I don't want to say that we're better and we're the new ones trying to outcompete him, but we're going to be doing some Google Analytics consulting and some more advanced reporting, tying different systems together. Just kind of the stuff I love, nerdy automation and data craziness. Other than that, you can come, if you're in Tampa, come visit us at a FermiDocs digital marketing social club mixer. Moo.com was gracious enough to give us these cards for free. It's so basically, if you know the Fermi paradox, it's a 17th century astrophysicist who said the universe is so big, it stands to reason that there's other galaxies, other planets just like ours that could sustain life. But if that's true, where is everybody? So that's the Fermi paradox. So we shortened that down because of efficiency, and it's the FermiDocs. And we're looking for all the intelligent life in the field of digital marketing. So, we love social media folks, digital marketers, web developers, data analysts, if you're in digital marketing, if you're working in digital, we want you to come out and chill and hang out and talk, because there's a lot of individual clubs. I used to volunteer with one that was great, that was focused around advertising, but we are trying to just really enhance the game of the digital world. And I'm hoping that maybe we can even go national with this, but Tampa is kind of a hotbed of creative energy right now, so come see us at one of those digital mixers is what we're calling them.
Awesome.
I'm thinking of calling it a fusion reactor, because I think Enrico Fermi was actually the inventor of the fusion reactor. So
nice, as opposed to Tesla, which was just a great band in the 90s.
Oh yeah,
right?
Tesla doesn't get the credit he deserves, but
he does not. Nikola Tesla does not. So cool. So for those of you that are like to spell and type, it's Alex Abel. It's Abell. Super smart dude. Fermi Docs, datashapers.io. Wicked great guy.
Yeah, here
really,
you go.
There you go. If you can read backwards, you can see that. Alexander Abel on LinkedIn. Just go find Alex. We'll put all of his stuff in the notes as well. But Alex, it's just been a pleasure, man. We're so glad you're here. Christian, take us out, man.
Great
Thanks
having you on, by the
guys.
way, Alex. We'll have to, Google Analytics, I think, is a really important tool for businesses. If you're not using it, you definitely need to have Google Analytics on your site to track, not just your traffic, but also your conversions, to see where they're coming from, what types of devices people are using. I don't want to overwhelm you with that, but I think the Google Analytics is really important. There's lots of different levels to which you can use it.
I'd love to,
really good to hear your work on that.
In the context of social, maybe in the future, we could talk. I could talk your ear off about how social gets a bad rap, especially in the world of analytics, because a lot of what people use in Google Analytics is last touch attribution. So, not to be boring or anything, but you have these social media teams that are doing amazing work, and they're not getting the credit they deserve because they're bringing in top of funnel traffic to the website. And by the time the email team or whoever brings the traffic back to convert, because they've been through that whole customer journey and nurturing, they're not getting any credit. So they're like, why are we paying money for this social media teams? But there's fun things you can do in Google Analytics to really highlight the good work that your social media team is doing. And I could talk your ear off about that.
Cool. Well, maybe we'll do a webinar.
I think it's good stuff.
Yeah, that's really good stuff, man. Maybe we'll host a little session for folks where you can get extra nerdy and show us all the wonderful stuff about Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics. That would be great.
Good stuff.
So
thank you everyone for joining us tonight for episode 153. We will see you all next week. Phil and I are working on the schedule for next week. We're what? Are we into September, I think?
Holy crap. Not quite yet. We're on the 30th of August.
Where did the year go?
Close, man. Yeah. Where did the year go? Absolutely. Yeah.
So we'll see you all next week. But if you want to get the blog post recap, all the links, all the topics we talked about, the video, just head to socialchefs.com/daily. We will see you all next week. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. See you
Thanks,
later.
Guys.